All right. Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the all-new Janus Motorcycles Gryffin 450. I should mention this is Richard Worsham here, founder and designer at Janus Motorcycles. And I'm excited today to do something a little different on this Friday afternoon and talk about our new model that we just released 1 week ago today. It has been available, and we've sold a decent number of them so far. But as of today, the configurator is now up and running. It's taken us a little bit to get that working correctly. And you can now go to our website and configure your Gryffin. And by that, what I mean is you can, just like our other models, you can build out the bike with the different colors, options, and different selections that are available at the time currently. I will say that we have additional upgrades that we're working on, and I'll talk a little bit about those as well. So up on your screen here, you should be able to see, if you're on Instagram, it's up here. If you're on YouTube, it's over here. And if you're on Facebook, Lord only knows. So the configurator is a pretty handy. We've, for many years, sold our motorcycles with no ability to envision what it would look like. And so it's very convenient, and I think really helps with both for us to envision a bike and for you, the customer, to come up with a better design when you can see the way the different colors, materials, and options look all together. So yeah, we'll start up here. Here's the all new Gryffin. I'll real briefly just talk a little bit about the bike. This is, as you can see, built around our 450, our new 450 plant, power plant. The Gryffin 250 we've been in production with for, since 2017, I want to say. So for quite some time, and this is the big brother to the Gryffin 250, whereas the Gryffin 250 was more of a really just a and still is more of a nod to the very earliest scramblers, in the sense that it does not have any different suspension than the stock Phoenix, for example. The Gryffin is it's much more specialized to its application, just like the Halcyon 450 is much more specialized to road going. It's got rear suspension and fuel injection, etc. The Gryffin 450 it's a specialized dual sport motorcycle design for on and off-road use. So that's the background on it. Please feel free to post up questions. I and others will do our best to answer them in the comments here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, if everything is all working at the same time. If my luck with technology hasn't jinxed us already. So when you get to the configurator, and over here, you will see that the bike is already sitting in a woodsy scene here, and the first option are paint options. So we're just going to walk through these. First one, primary color. We have quite a few color options available. There's our classic cream. You can do it in another real classic color, gloss black, and then right now our personal favorite is this Indy green. Indy Racing green on the Gryffin is going to look incredible. Vintage red, olive drab, and the list goes on. I think I'm going to stick with let's go look at the Inland Seafoam green. That's also a nice combination. We have a 250 Gryffin in the shop right now with that. But we're going to go with the Indy Racing green, and we're going to roll down to the next option on here is the pinstripe colors. So you're going to find the pinstripe options will be on your fuel tank, on the side here, on your fenders, and on the airbox where it states the model name and displacement designation. So, boy, that gold looks good. Silver? Is that a double? We got a double pinstripe here. Let's see. Second pinstripe color is okay. I see. We're gonna clear that one. So we're gonna do two pinstripe colors. So gold and silver. Maybe I think that looks pretty good. So if you want to see what that looks like, down at the bottom of the configurator, there's a little plus magnifying glass. Click on that, and you get a little bit of a closer view. And what we're seeing right here, it says live configuration coming soon. So more of these will get closer details as we develop them for you all. So next up on the menu is we'll add the feather logo options. So just like our Halcyon 450, the Gryffin 450 has the new and updated logo, Janus logo, and tank emblem, which is a metal die-cast emblem. And behind it is a feather logo, which we've done a video on the history and design of that, but it kind of speaks to our lightweight philosophy and the mythical bird theme that all our models follow. But you can get that feather in a number of colors. What we have here right now is gold. You could switch that for copper or silver. In this case, boy, gold and silver pinstripe. I'm going to stick with the gold because it contrasts with the tank emblem there. Wheel pinstripe is exactly what it sounds like. We can pinstripe your wheels, and since gold is the secondary color, do you do gold or do you do silver? I'm going to do silver. I think it looks good. And then there's a number of options for first edition Gryphons, and I want to talk about those right now. So if you order a Gryphon in the next, I forget what the actual time frame is, but we have a limited amount of time here to purchase a first edition Gryphon. And what comes along with the first edition is a custom fuel cap, a brass serial number plate. So we did this as well on the Halcyon 450, and that it's a stunning look. A little brass plate that gets riveted to the frame and hand stamped into that is your serial number, and it'll say 1, 2, 3, or 4 of the number of bikes that we build in this limited edition or first edition. We don't know how many there'll be because we don't know how many of you all are going to buy a bike. So we're excited about that. Next up, we also have a laser engraved details. So we're going to do something special with likely on the side covers, something very different that will not be available after this. We also have a lot of other neat ideas up our sleeves. So this is going to be something that's quite special. And the price for the first edition is $13,500. At this point, we are on number 6. So that means that 5 Gryffin 450s have already been sold in the first week. So if you place an order now, you will be Gryffin 450 number 6. Also, last note on the first edition, if you are already in our Janus Ambassadors program, you can of course refer. You get a referral. So the way that works is if you're an ambassador, you'll know that if you can get a referral, then that person gets $500 off their bike, and you get $500 towards what you want in the Janus store. But you can also, what Grant wanted me to tell you all is that you can also refer yourself if you are a Janus ambassador. So that would equal $1,000 off of a bike. So a very good opportunity if you are already a Janus ambassador. Last thing up is we have limited space for trade-ins. So if you are already a Janus customer and you want to or maybe a Gryffin owner with a 250 and you want to size up to the Gryffin 450, we cannot take a whole bunch of bikes on trade-in. So we do have limited space for that. Please get a hold of us by phone or email. Our lines are open as we speak, and talk to us. We can, I hope, make arrangements for you, but that is we're not going to be able to do that with very many bikes. So that's it for the notes on the first edition. If you have further questions on the first edition, post them up in the comments or give us a call. Send us an email, and we will be delighted to get back to you and answer any questions you may have on how that works. Back to the build. There's the first edition Gryffin. So the other way that works is that, here's the date that I missed. On the 3/23/24, that's when this option expires. So we will be continuing to build these through that date. And if you want to get a first edition one, it's $1,000 additional cost, basically. So you can select that. I'm going to select that. Next up, we have the new, and this is something that we found on a lot of our, we introduced very recently on all of our models, and that is the primary color matched frame. So let's take a look at that. And in this case, it's green. If we were to go back up here and let's take a look at, you'll see it a little more clearly if I pick, let's do that. There you go. The inland seafoam green. What a stunning look. I recently shared some images of a Halcyon 450 with color matched frame. And I mean, it's probably one of my favorite bikes we've ever built. Interestingly, a lot of our early, or all of our first 50cc bikes had color matched chassis, and it's a really distinctive look. It goes really well with the Janus aesthetic, and there you have it. So we're gonna do that in the green. We're gonna stick with our green primary color. Just like all of our other models, you can also do a deluxe fuel tank. So I'll show you what that looks like here. So the deluxe fuel tank is all Janus motorcycles fuel tanks are hand-formed aluminum, and the deluxe tank basically means that the relief on the outlined area on your tank, everything inside of that we actually don't powder coat. We polish it first and then mask it off when we powder coat it, and so you get a beautiful high polish aluminum. Looks like chrome on the side of your fuel tank. And that is the deluxe tank. And we're going to go with that on this bike. I like the way that looks. Engraved fuel cap. And this is something that all the first edition bikes will come with a special one of those with the number of your first edition. But we have some other options here. If you don't choose that, you can still get an engraved cap, of course. You can get... let's see if we can see an example here. This is a little bit small on your screen, but we have the Janus Motorcycles logo. We have the two heads of the Roman god Janus facing opposite directions, and our classic Janus Motorcycles Goshen, Indiana logo. I will also mention that we do custom engraving. So if you would like your name, your motto, your coat of arms, you can have that engraved. Just send it over, and we will do that, a custom design for an additional fee. A lot of folks take advantage of that, and it really makes each bike extremely unique, even more unique. Seat colors. Let's open that one up. The Gryffin 450, like the Halcyon 450, will be available in two colors: brown, which you see on the bike now, and a black. It does say vinyl. We are still working out what kind of material we're going to be able to use on the seat. I'm going to stick with the brown. I think the brown is a nice contrast. Next up is a brush guard. And when we say brush guard, we're talking about, some people would call that a bash guard or an engine guard. Let's click the button. There you go. You see it down there. I wonder if we can zoom in, if it will let us see that. No, it won't yet. But I'll turn it off and back on again. It's an aluminum bash guard, very similar to the one that's currently available on the Gryffin 250. that protects the front bottom of your engine. If you're familiar with off-road riding, you'll know that the front wheel will kick up rocks and debris, which will hit the engine, both getting it dirty, and also if you're really flogging it off-road, you can actually puncture the engine case or do damage. Your oil pump is down there. So that's a great idea if you plan on riding more, even gravel roads. I would suggest them, but off-road. It's also really nice if you are lugging the bike over a tree and the bike hit, you hit the engine or the frame rails on a tree, that takes the brunt of that blow. Very popular on any off-road bike or dual sport motorcycle. We're going to stick with that. And then we also offer next up the race number plate. And that is just like on our Gryffin 250. Instead of having a number plate on your front fender, like the Halcyon model, there is no room on a Gryffin because the front fender is much shorter and it has a big brace on there. So we put it on a classic kind of scrambler or dirt bike number plate over the headlight. It's an aluminum unit with rivets. Looks really, really good. And that will have your serial number if you so choose, or you can do a different number as long as it doesn't say JM on it. Let's see. Yeah, we'll stick with the race number plate as well. Next up, we've picked our colors and a lot of our finish options. Next up, we're going to pick lighting. So you can upgrade it to we're not going to be able to see the difference. You will be able to tell the difference when you're riding it, but we're going to select the LED headlight. This is one of those upgrades that I recommend that everyone get. We do have some owners who prefer the traditional look of an incandescent bulb, more kind of a yellow color, but I think that the argument for that pales in comparison with the visibility that you have of what you're seeing at night when you're riding, and even more so with the visibility to other vehicles. It's very, very bright and makes you very visible. So I always encourage everyone to get the LED light. You can get a headlight visor, which just like on our Halcyon, all of our models goes over the headlight. I'm gonna say no on the visor with this bike. I think it looks neat without it in the number plate. You can add a second mirror. All of our bikes come with a mirror on the left side. You can add one on the right as well. We're going to go ahead and do that. You can add bar end weights, which I'm not going to do because I want to add. I want to add the hand guards, and I don't think we can add both. The nice thing about, well, let's wait. I'll talk about that when we get to the hand guards, but I'm not going to add the bar end weights. The bar end weights, though, just to talk about them, it's almost a pound of stainless steel that you can insert in the end of your bars. If you choose to go without the hand guards, you can absolutely install these on your Gryffin 450, and they reduce vibrations. They work really well. I have them on my bike, especially at higher RPMs. Fantastic option. We're going to not select that, though, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then the California kit, you're not going to be able to really see a difference on this, but it's required. If you live in the state of California, you will be paying $350 extra because if you would like to register your bike, they require the evaporative emissions. So I live in Indiana, so I'm not going to do that. Then we have leather storage and seating. Front fork tie-down eyelets. I'm not sure if all of you all have seen these, but they are little eyelets that attach at the top of your shock absorber on the front of the bike. They're stainless steel. They actually look really good, and they help you to strap the bike down. Especially if you're riding off-road, this is nice. You can throw this on a hitch rack on the back of your RV or your car even. They're so lightweight. And then you can use those to strap the bike down without damaging paint. You don't even have to worry about it. You can use the metal hooks right on those, and they work really well. So great option. We're going to go with that. And then we call these the corn detasselers. That's a Grant joke, but it's the kind of the brand name that maybe many people would be familiar with would be Bark Busters or Hand Guards. It's an aluminum. Here, let's turn it on. Difficult to see in this image, but it's an aluminum bar that clamps to your hand, let's see, if I can, there we go, over your hand. And not only does it protect your hand, but it also, in the event that the bike, really the main reason is if the bike goes down, which if you're riding off-road, I can tell you from experience, happens a lot more than you think. It protects your levers, it protects your controls. It's a great option. And we offer that it comes standard with a little aluminum plates that match your primary color. Go with the corn detasselers and cargo rack. The cargo rack will sit over the back. It's going to be a small rack similar from above to what you would see on our Halcyon 450 or 250 really. It's a little rack with crossbars allowing you to store stuff on the back of the bike. That's something that we're working on right now alongside the development of the Gryffin 450. I'm going to go with the cargo rack. Definitely want to be able to carry camping gear on this bike, so I'm going to go with that. And that is the bike. Oh, I did not mention the corn detasselers. You cannot install those with the bar end weights. So that's why I decided not to do that. However, that's a big solid bar of aluminum with an aluminum plate up there. You do get additional weight on those bars with the bar end, with the corn detasselers. So I think it's it may not be quite as good as having the full weight of those bar end weights, but it's a nice way to also, it's not a complete loss in terms of handlebar vibration. So yeah, that is a look at the Gryffin 450. Maybe let's throw some different colors on there before we go. How's that? Gorgeous. Red. We can do white with the frame match. Looks really good. Or we can turn the frame match off. It gets a little more complex looking, really, I think, with a different color. You can do silver for the primary. That's a really sharp look. Now, I wouldn't do silver for a pinstripe color on silver, but it's a pretty fantastic look. Let's see. We can do any other. Let's do a black seat. Yeah, lots of different options there. So we got a lot of folks in the chat here. But again, if you have any more questions on this, please post them up. We have folks right now in the comments answering. Grant's right here answering questions. So post them up, or even better, give us a call and order a Gryffin 450. Actually, Grant right now has a bunch of questions that we can field, that I'll try and answer on camera. So go ahead.
Will the cargo rack be any larger than the Gryffin 250?
Larger. Okay, so the question was, will the cargo rack on the new Gryffin 450 be any larger than on the 250?
The comment was, it would be nice to have a larger one.
So the commenter was saying it would be nice to have a larger one. I think it's going to be around the same size. I'm just speaking off the cuff when I say this, but there's a limited amount of room on the back of these bikes. One of the benefits of a Janus is that they're small and lightweight. But I do hope that one of the options that we'll be able to come out with is a pannier, like a metal pannier system for this. So, because we do think this is going to be a great bike. This will be a bike to go adventure riding and camping, and so we want to have plenty of room for you to carry plenty of gear with you.
Chrome or stainless spokes?
Chrome or stainless spokes. All right now, the plan is, like all of our bikes, to have stainless steel spokes.
Okay. Top speed with knobby tires.
Top speed with knobby tires. Our Halcyon 450 top speed is 90 miles an hour, and it actually has some mildly knobby tires. They're traditional tires, but they're not quite smooth. 90 miles an hour. I'd say maybe calculate a couple of miles an hour scrubbed off. Also, that's a more upright seating position, so a little bit slower. Not much, though.
Great. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. Those are the questions for right now. And just to reiterate, the first edition is from now until what?
March 23rd.
March 23rd. So you have until March 23rd to place an order on a first edition Gryffin 450. It comes along with a lot of really cool goodies and a special place in Janus Motorcycles history. I encourage you to check that out. Any other messages?
Nope, that's all we got.
Yeah.
Just reiterate the price, $13,495. So
$13,500 is the price on the first edition. So representatives are waiting. Give us a call, send us an email, and enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoon. Thanks so much for watching, and I will not catch any of you who do watch this on Sunday or Monday night for the Ramble stream. I will be traveling, but we will be back next Monday for the Ramble stream. Thank you very much, and see you later.